Thanks again for joining us here at SIjo's Vault, where we explore the lifetime of collecting pop culture memorabilia, such as comic books, movie and TV items, bubblegum cards, and much more. This time around, we're going to take a look at the Marvel and DC Comics paperbacks from the 1960s and 1970s. Let's check it out. So starting with DC, Signet came out with the Superman paperback, reprinting some of the comic stories from various ages. As you can see here, Foursquare over in England did almost an identical edition. Of course, with the popularity of the Batman TV show with Adam West and Burt Ward, Batman also was given the paperback treatment, not once, but 5 times. Here is the first edition of both the American and British, again, pretty much identical. The second in the series was Batman versus the Three Villains of Doom, a novel based on the TV show, with Adam West adorning both covers. Signet's third volume returns to comic book adaptations, although it does mention on the American one the TV hero. This one, Batman versus the Joker, again side by side with its British counterpart. Number 4 in the series, again continuing with the comic book adaptations, was Batman versus the Penguin. The final edition in the series was Batman versus the Fearsome Foursome, an adaptation of the theatrical release. Here we see a difference in both the front and back covers, with Adam West and Burt Ward, and of course the 4 villains. Again, they're featured but with different photos. Interestingly enough, they were reprinted later on in England without the TV and movie adaptations. They did number 1 as simply Batman and Robin. Number 2 is the Joker. Number 3 is the Penguin. This time, however, they added a 4th one, Batman versus Catwoman. I've never been able to tell if Signet originally did a Catwoman one, but if they did, it sure is a rare one. And here we have a couple of oddities. Signet also did, I guess you could call it a 6th in the series, Bill Adler's funniest fan letters to the Batman, which is pretty self-explanatory. The other one, It's Fun to Be a Batman, I'm pretty sure it was done without the consent of any parties involved who own the rights to the TV show or the character. A little later on, Paperback Library gave us this 2-volume set of Green Lantern Green Arrow, reprinting some of the beautiful work of Neil Adams. Later still, Tempo Books put out a series of DC comic reprints. Not really sure how many they did, as Wonder Woman, Superman, and Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes are the only 3 I've been able to grab up. I'm sure there must be others out there. And finally, from DC, strangely enough, Ron Goulart was commissioned to write a novel on, of all characters, the challenges of the unknown. So not to be outdone by their distinguished competition, Marvel decided, through Lancer Books, to publish a series of paperbacks reprinting some of their comic book superheroes, the first of which was seen here in The Amazing Spider-Man. They followed up their Spider-Man edition with not 1, but 2 Fantastic Four books, The Fantastic Four and The Fantastic Four Returns, guest starring Submariner. The Incredible Hulk also got his turn from Lancer Books, as well as everybody's favorite Thunder God, Thor. And rounding out the Lancer run was the Daredevil, guest starring everybody's favorite Wallcrawler. Foursquare, over in England, decided to print the books as well, although they only did 3 and they did them in a different order. Their number 1, The Incredible Hulk, as you see here with a different cover. Thor was the second offering from Foursquare Books, again with a different Jack Kirby cover than the American one. The third and final entry from Foursquare was The Amazing Spider-Man, again with a different cover than the Lancer. In 1967, Bantam put out The Avengers Battle the Earthwrecker, a novel by Otto Binder, the first novel ever written about a Marvel character. A year later, in 1968, Bantam followed up the Avengers novel with Captain America, The Great Gold Steel. This one was written by Ted White with an introduction by Stan Lee. In 1978, Pocket Books produced a series of 11 novels based on various Marvel characters written by different authors. The first three here: Amazing Spider-Man, Mayhem in Manhattan, which was done by Len Wein and Marv Wolfman. The second and third offerings were two Hulk novels, Hulk Stalker from the Stars and Hulk Cry of the Beast. The next three in the series: Captain America, Holocaust for Hire, Fantastic Four, Doomsday, and Iron Man and My Killer MODOK. Notice some of the great cover paintings that are on these books. The next three in the series, numbers 7, 8, and 9, is Doctor Strange, Nightmare, the second Spider-Man crime campaign featuring a really cool cover with Spidey fighting Kingpin by Bob Larkin, and number 9 is probably the most desirable in the series. It's got 3 stories, one of Daredevil, one of the Avengers, and one, that's right, of the X-Men. Number 9 also features a great Cockrum painting. And finally, the Avengers in The Man Who Stole Tomorrow, where they face off against Kang the Conqueror. The final one in the series, number 11, was the Hulk and Spider-Man team up in Murder Moon, a novel by Paul Kuppenberg. And finally, also by Pocketbook, was released a series of paperbacks which were comic book reprints, sort of like the Lancers from 10 years before, although these were in full color. Here you see the first 3 Spider-Man editions. Beyond the Spider-Mans, you can also see they reprinted comic book adaptations of The Incredible Hulk and Doctor Strange as well. Well, thanks for stopping by SIjo's Vault again, and I hope you enjoyed checking out the Marvel and DC Comics paperbacks from the 1960s and 1970s. Hit the like and subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can be sure to check out all the other videos coming up, and leave some comments. Let's help the channel grow. Appreciate it. Thanks.